from KTVU Fox 2 San Francisco. City of Oakland rips out neighborhoods hazardous solution to sideshows. So classic media framing there. It's definitely hazardous when you're trying to keep the criminals from running amok in your neighborhood. And obviously there are loads of problems in Oakland, San Francisco. I mean, the Bay Area, California as a whole. I mean, really the entire country, but California is among the worst. And these people are largely helpless to take a stand against any of this stuff. And when they try to do one thing to better their neighborhood, the city comes in and says, no, you can't do that. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
Frustration in East Oakland. Neighbors taking matters into their own hands, installing street barriers to deter reckless drivers. But tonight...
And how many times have we heard, oh, we have to take these, oh, this is what democracy looks like. We're going to stand up. They want to take a stand. But the city stomps on them because, as we know by now, it is clear, it is evident that anybody trying to stop the criminality and the corruption will be turned into a criminal themselves. And this is a picture-perfect example of that.
City workers removing those roadblocks.
This is what happens when you frustrate citizens.
We have been asking them for help for several months with zero response.
The city has done absolutely nothing.
That's true. I'm sure the city has done nothing, but have they done anything in the past 10 years, in the past decade, that would make you think they're going to try to help you with your problems?
Up community demanding action from Oakland city leaders. Good evening, everyone. I'm Heather Holmes.
And I'm Mike Nieback. After years of complaining about out-of-control driving, residents taking it upon themselves, placing rock-filled tires out there on the busy streets. New at 10, KTVU's Joey Horta live tonight in studio. Joey, the city not allowing those tires to stay?
Nope, they took about, city tells us they just found out about these barriers today, and they sent crews out there to remove them, calling them a safety hazard.
So they did that really quickly. They heard about it and then got rid of them and called it a safety hazard. But the sideshows that are happening 2, 3, 4 nights out of the week all over Oakland, that's not really a hazard.
Frustrated neighbors telling us they plan to replace what was taken down today because they can't rely on the city to solve the problem. Homeowners along this stretch of East 21st Street in Oakland's San Antonio neighborhood are outraged. City crews encountered hecklers Tuesday afternoon while snatching up dozens of dirt-filled tires from the center lane. A group of neighbors admits to taking matters into their own hands by installing the tires as a barrier to prevent reckless driving, including sideshows.
They almost killed someone. There's a school up there. Kids have been hit on the street. There are people whose cars have been crashed into and totaled.
Neighbors claim the city isn't doing enough to protect them. Odelson Souza says his 2-year-old son almost got hit by a speeding car on the sidewalk.
Please help us.
And from what I can tell, it doesn't look like these roundabouts or these tires that the neighbors have installed. I don't know where in the world they got these from. I'm sure you could get some discarded tires easily in Oakland, but it doesn't appear as though it's incredibly hazardous. I don't know. I'm no expert. Well, for the millionth time, I am an expert. I do identify as such. But if anybody is just driving, say, heaven forbid, obeying the speed limit in these neighborhoods, I don't think these. Now, look, obviously it's not ideal to take these things into your own hands, but I don't think these things are any more hazardous than a sideshow. That is for sure. If you were driving 35 in a 35 or 25 in a 25, then you're not going to have any problem with this.
Who else do we go call? Superman?
Neighbors also made 3 of their own roundabouts, reflective tape included, on nearby 18th Avenue just about 3 months ago. They illegally parked 2 vehicles in the intersection Tuesday to block city crews from taking down a roundabout.
Well, we are protesting this. It feels crushing. Yes, we want...
Oh, yeah, it feels crushing. Now, I don't know this lady from a ham sandwich, but are we to believe that she's a stone-cold conservative and didn't vote her way into this nonsense? I don't know. But we do know that you can, quote-unquote, vote your way into this weirdo, dystopian communist state, but you are not going to vote your way out of it. So you're going to try to take it into your own hands, and they're not going to let that happen because you gave them too much power.
Want the city to pay attention to our neighborhood.
During our interview, Oakland police drove through the intersection several times without taking action.
We have just been so disappointed with the city's inability or unwillingness to respond to clear and present danger.
A spokesperson for the city tells us in part, we all want safer streets, but increasing the risk to the public by installing hazards is not the solution. The city will be promptly removing these unauthorized, dangerous...
But you guys don't even have any cops. They're not going to be out there enforcing the law. They're not going to throw the book at anybody they pretend to catch. So this is the last resort, and that's hazardous.
Installations.
Enough for the performative, making everyone feel better, renaming streets after dead rap artists. Do your job.
Neighbors say a reckless driver hit one of the tires on Saturday, causing the car to land on its side.
There you go. A reckless driver, right? This is not somebody who's obeying the speed limit or even going 5 over the speed limit. This is somebody that is driving absolutely wild through the streets. And it's clear that they're targeting the sideshow participants for the most part. But this is what happens, bro. When you let these people run amok, obviously the criminals run amok. And we know by now for the millionth time that the criminal politicians will breed criminal residents. And when you try to stop it, you will become the criminal.
And hope it will teach other drivers a lesson. They vow to keep installing more barriers until the city, they say, comes up with a permanent solution.
Okay, so obviously you can get an idea of the frustration in that community, but what specific action do they want the city to take here?
So they want those that center median, I should say, removed from the road, and they want speed bumps put in. They say they're not going to hold their breath, though, because they're worried after years of asking that the city is not going to get it.
Yeah, obviously nobody's going to do anything, and when you try to do something, you will be turned into the criminal. And this kind of reminds me, really briefly, of some pothole vigilantes that were going out in the middle of the night, dressed in all black, to fix the potholes that the city refused to fix.
We don't have permits. We're out there in the middle of the night, even though Oakland should be doing it themselves. They're not, so we're doing it. We are the pothole vigilantes. We're in our 20s, and we fill potholes in the dark of night. The streets of Oakland are crumbling away. There's a million potholes, so we don't plan where we're gonna go because we're gonna find a pothole no matter what. The cost to fill a pothole depends on how big it is, but the bag's around $20, and it takes 10 to 15 minutes to fix a problem. Oakland has a budget of $100 million and a 3-year plan to fix streets. If they gave us $1 million contract in 1 to 2 months, we'd fix all the potholes.
I think that was happening in cities all over the place, but that's what happens is they let these things fester, and the corruption is just so astronomical that everybody is a criminal, and when you call out the criminality, naturally you become the enemy, you become the criminal.